So the holes probably just need a little bit of love. So it wasn't me not getting it to skid, we just need more power. Because everyone's going to say, oh, I don't know how to skid again. No. Great, come. And just lift it up. We need a rotor. I know. I need the RX4 needs to be here. Definitely. Yeah. People find it funny, but fucking everywhere I go, there's big dogs that want to fucking eat me. Nice. It's like some sort of stitch up, and they all say, oh yeah, he's nice and friendly. Neck minute. Hey boy. Oh fuck! All right, let's grab some parts. Let's do it. We've got a heap of parts. We've got a heap to talk about. We've got a heap of rotaries parts. We're gonna see how they fit. Yeah. It was all based off this car we're gonna look at. So yeah. All right, let's get cracking. Fucking here's goes. So he knows me. He's all good. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. It's like a teddy bear. Okay. Go, Creed. Creed, go. Come on, buddy. He's only a roddy. Yeah. Nothing to worry about, eh? Man, his father's actually Australian champion. No shit, he's a big boy. On, hey boy, holy shit. Hey boy. He's like a bear. Fucking hell. Creed. Is it Creed, is it? Yeah. Oh, that's a mean name. I never know what to expect when I visit Rotary owners. I walk into things open-minded. I've got a bit of an idea what we're going to look at here, but I want that. But it's nice and clean. There's no skid marks. Not yet. So we know we're in Oz? Yeah. Because if this was in New Zealand, it'd just be black. I was thinking that. When the RX2's done, we'll do a skid. Well, you know I'm looking for a place to skid, don't you? Bit of a shout out to everyone in Oz. Like, I seriously need a spot to skid. My neighbours are proper pissed with me. Really? So I need to annoy some other neighbours in other people's houses. Oh, this is a mean setup. Oh, fuck yeah. Save your back. A hoist. Back, man, for sure. So it's a beast there. This is cool. So it's a 616 that I've converted the taillights. All in-house this year? All in-house, yeah. What was that like, doing that conversion? Look, it was pretty tricky. It took a bit of time. But I wanted to do it like really properly. So like even the seam and stuff. So when you get the panels, they don't come with the seam. So I actually like put the seam in there so it all looks good. And yeah, basically tigged it all up and came out good. Now what's the difference putting that rear with the boot? Because I can see in there, the back there's a tile spacing. So the 616 came out with the wheel well. So I've decided whether to take that out and change it or just leave it, you know. So I'm trying to get someone to do a pat and then maybe I'll actually take it out. So guys, welcome to another episode of Rotary Rescue. It had a little bit of rust in the front floor pans. Do you want to come and show me? Yep. I'll put that closer. So, look, a lot of these cars, everyone would know where they rust. So they normally rust down here. So I've actually repaired all that, made these panels up and fixed it up. But the thing is, with the RX2s, nobody's doing floor pans. So you've either got to get someone to fab them up. I actually bought some out of Canada. And yeah, so this one here is just about to go in. We can put that in today. And then yeah, cleaned everything off. So this is going to be a proper restoration. I'm assuming you're going to paint all inside everything. The door skins. So soon it's going to go for blasting, and then once it's blasted, it'll be put in epoxy. And then so everything will be done inside, outside, new interior. So full ground up restoration. Full ground up, yep. Wow. So how many hours do you think you've got in the body alone, just in terms of labour? I've been working on this fairly solid for about the last year. Sort of every spare moment that I've got, just stripping it back and doing all the rust work and stuff takes some time. And then starting the fabrication for putting all the 30MB and stuff in. Now, what's your background in terms of your profession? Because you just gave me this, and that's pretty mint. Yeah, like, thanks. So I'm a dental technician by trade. So yeah, make dentures for people. So Yeah.
It looks like you're a perfectionist.
Well, yeah, I mean, in my job, it's either right or wrong. So I guess that translates to whatever else I do.
Yeah, if you're going to do something, you do it right.
Correct. Yeah.
And this is proper doing it right. Just before we start to get these panels and everything, what are some of the other cars that you've got here?
So this is a HG Holden, really rare one. So this is a 308 HG that's actually got power steering, electric windows. So yeah, that's quite a unique car.
So you're not just a rotary.
No, I've got Japanese cars, Chevys, Holdens, yeah, a bit of everything.
Now, are there any other rotaries hiding around here? Well, I've got to put you on the spot.
So the RX8 is out there, and then I do have a Series 4 Capella in the other shed. This is a original Datsun 1600 Triple S, and I've got the original keys, owner's manuals, delivery dockets. Even the seats have still got the OK from when they were built.
Let's lift the covers up a little bit more. So what's the difference with the Triple S?
So the Triple S, the Triple S has got a few differences. So most of the parts are still inside. So on here, it's actually got Triple S written on there. Obviously, you can see it's got the overriders, the 1600 Triple S, and then with the engine, it's actually got the twin carbies.
Okay. So, and that came out, I'm assuming, from
that's
factory?
That's all factory, yeah, factory. So in 1969, they came out with a black interior and miles per hour. And this has got, the seats and everything in this still look like the day they came out of the showroom.
Gary, how many of these were in production? Do you know, the Triple S 1600?
Look, I'm not too sure how many were in production, but this one came out of South Africa. So, I've got the books and everything for it.
Now, is that also with the RX2? Is that where
Correct.
that... Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think that or why are you buying out of South Africa? Is it simply...
Well, I was born there, so I've got a few connections there, so all these cars are coming out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good... And what's it like over in South Africa as well with the rotary scene and these...
Look, it's actually quite decent. So they actually built RX2s in South Africa and RX4s, but they called them Maluche.
They manufactured them in South
Africa. So this car here was built in Durban, and that's where I was born. And it's built in the same year that I was born. So that's why I'm kind of doing that to it. So
is that the same block as what the 1600s came out? It
is the same block, but obviously this one has got the twin carbies. And if you have a look here, you'll actually see they're 109 horsepower, I think. And that's how you know the difference. I think the other ones were like 99 or something horsepower.
So you did this. You did the same to this as what you're doing.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what will you use the car for once you've done the restoration?
Look, I've always just loved, obviously, the Datsuns, but to find a 1600 Triple S, so just maybe go to a few shows and just cruise it.
I think you enjoy building them.
I do.
I do as well.
I mean, for me, I think I like building them and spending the time sort of getting everything right. So. Yeah.
But it's like therapy?
Oh, it is.
Is that a fair sort of...
Exactly. Like I can come in here and sometimes I'll finish the day, walk out and it's dark. Because, you just kind of get into a zone.
And we're lucky here in Queensland as well, because you can work day and night.
That's right.
And the climate's pretty good, rather than the poor people down south freezing.
Exactly,
and you can't feel
freezing in New Zealand.
All right, let's go and have
we'll have a
look at a couple of the other toys. So we've got all the parts there we're going to go through, and 5 RX4 coupes at one point.
5 RX4 coupes at one time, and then one I did up, and the guy actually came from Sweden and bought it and took it up there.
So, but I don't see any RX4s here at the moment.
No, so I've got a Luche coming, so a 4-door, and it's actually got a 12.8 PP in it, so interesting little car.
Oh, that's neat. We're going to have to do more videos. This is like the start of, this is cool.
So this is this little, doing a little bit of work on this one as well, but it's actually quite a tidy car.
So once again, South African.
Okay. Series 4.
Is it hard to, I was going to say lift the roller up. So what are some of the differences that we're seeing from the cars brought in from South Africa to the Aussie ones, like in terms of the models?
Look, the actual Capellas are pretty well the same. The difference is we call the Series 1 a Capella, RE. They call that a 616, and they call this model a Capella. So that's really the differences.
Now we're seeing subtleties like the underneath or around the exhaust shroud.
Yep.
They're all going to be the same across the board, no matter where they're manufactured. Yeah. Okay.
So they were pretty much a knockdown kit out of Japan that they then built in Durban. So yeah.
Now, what about these? We'll have a look at the engine bay in them. What are we having to do to mod plate these to Australian standards and also Queensland mod plates as well?
Look, basically you get a roadworthy, and if you've got the import approvals, you register it.
That's as easy as that.
It's as easy as that because it's right-hand drive out of South Africa. So this one's automatic, still got all the original stuff, look, the seats. One of the differences is they don't come out with headrests. So, yeah, the headrests are different.
So is there any holes at the top there?
No,
no
holes.
any holes.
No
Wow.
holes, yeah.
So how do they deal with that? You just snap your neck?
I think so. Yeah, you just got to be short. And so, yeah, this one, you know, it's pretty, even the original radio works and everything. So, yeah, it's all original.
Are you going to do, I'm assuming it's still got the piston?
It's still got the piston. I have got another 13B turbo that I'm thinking of putting in there. But, yeah.
And do you think you'd do the restoration on it, do the conversion and then sell it?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Or one of my kids, yeah, he's a bit of a rotor fan, so
because you can only
end up
keep
being sort of father and son project.
You can only have so many of these cars,
right?
so you do have
exactly.
to sell occasionally.
Yeah. And then this is
once again
Retis rebuild as well, 55 sheds.
we won't we're looking at another South African.
No, so this one,
really?
This one is out of LA. Got all the tubular A arms and all here. 406. So I mini tubbed this one myself, and then this one's going to run 20 by 12 intro retro wheels on the back and 19 by 8 in the front.
So with the engine, did you bought the motor and you just installed it?
No, so
or?
my dad is a mechanic, and so that's where I get the passion for cars. So basically everything that I do, I learned with my dad. So it's a good thing, him and I sort of build the engines and stuff and put them together. So it's got a big cam and everything in it, alloy heads. It's actually going to be fuel injected. This is just sitting there for mock-up. So yeah, I'll show you this. I built from scratch using the English wheel. I actually built that console.
And all the paint and panel, well, all the paint, are you spraying here at all?
No,
okay,
don't spray. So that's actually built out of metal.
That whole fabricated?
The whole thing, and if you can see, it matches exactly the curve and stuff.
How many hours do you think you're having that?
Way too many. Yeah, way too many.
100?
So, yeah, at least. So the fuel injection screen is in there. The shifter, because normally they're a bit too low, so I raise it up a little bit. It's got the shifter in there. It's even got the little side ports as well for where the heater comes out, and then dome lights. And these are the seats for the Datsun, so yeah, these are just absolutely immaculate.
That's unreal, mate.
So if you look at the way I mini tubbed it.
Do you ever sleep?
No. So the way I mini tubbed it, so it's done so that you can really not even tell. So I even fabricated where it's widened at the back there.
So that it all looks standard.
It all looks standard, but it can fit 20 by 12s in it now.
That's very nice.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, so let's go and get some panels.
Sure. Yep.
And let's have a look at how some of the parts line up.
Definitely.
So these are some of the parts that are going in the...
Correct.
We call it an RX2. We call it an RX2.
I mean, I think once you put a rotary in it these days.
Yeah, RX2.
RX2, yeah. These are some of the bits going in. So you obviously had to buy that brand new, so you can change the front cover because it's getting a FD 13B engine sitting over there.
We'll have a look at that. Let's go through all the parts. Now that's interesting as well, just to show people. Now how much? They're 12A turbo front
12A
covers.
turbo front, so it's got the turbo drain right there.
Now how much can people expect to pay now for that?
I think I paid about $350, somewhere there.
Because I'm seeing around 400 now. Yeah.
So that's it's about 350, 400. So, but I mean that's pretty good, ready to go. In here, I mean, you know, some of the bits, you know,
shroud column,
yeah, and then lots and lots of, you know, badges and stuff that go in it. You know.
Now, where are some of these from?
Just local stores, honey. So you know. So this is so we got the rotor emblem, which obviously is different to the 616.
Now that's called the coffin.
That's called the coffin badge, yep. This is pretty...
What series did the coffin come out in, do you know?
Series 1. Series 1 with the coffin, and yeah, so looks pretty cool having that. And then this is, so that's obviously already been done by myself.
Now how rare are they?
I mean, some of the parts are rare, so to get one of these that's not been cut, you know, back in the day everyone used to put CDs in, is pretty rare. And then to get the actual original radio with the proper knobs for an RX2 is quite rare. And so that surround, the proper surround, the clock all working, and the actual antenna switch.
And the cigarette lighter and the choke
lighter,
as well.
So to have all that sort of stuff, you know, as is and working and all complete, took a bit of time putting together. So even the radio works and everything. Had that serviced and put a new light in it.
That should almost be a segment on the show.
Yeah.
What parts are for sale?
Yeah, true. I do have a radio for sale.
There you go. See what I mean? If you don't ask, you won't know.
Exactly,
and, you know.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the radio. Any
and
other
then
goodies?
just a lot of obviously. That's a different radio. It's not the one for sale. And then, you know
The corner
pieces. Yeah, that's a spare one. I've actually got, I think, almost a spare set of stainless for a coupe. So.
Okay. So, mate, if people want to, if that's something that people perhaps want me to get into, what parts of a sale when I'm going around?
So, obviously, RX2.
Is that one of the remanufactured ones?
Remanufactured, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that looks pretty nice. Actually, while I've got that in the hand, why don't we see if it actually fits?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think it's pretty close. So the holes probably just need a little bit of love.
Okay, so maybe if you took that side out and try to line the 3 up instead. So then you're only going to have... Okay, so you have to modify 2 of them.
2 of them, yep.
So it is the way that it is. You can either bend those forks from the badge, or you can just file a little hole.
That's right, yeah. So, but yeah, I decided to go for RX2 because it is from South Africa. So obviously in Australia, they wouldn't have RX2 there. They would have Capella, and they would be Capella RE. Whereas a right-hand drive in RX2 was only in Japan and South Africa.
So that may be why that badge doesn't fit.
Could be.
Okay.
Could
so
be.
That's great that you've said that. Yeah.
And obviously the RX2s have got an all-red light on the back instead of the half orange. So my other RX2 coupe has got all that.
This is gold. This is all for purists. So let's try some more parts that we've got. Now, is that steam pipe for the manifold?
Yes. So
can you explain the difference between steam pipe?
Sure.
Yeah.
So obviously this is steam pipe that I'm going to build the manifold from, and I got this from. So you can see a really nice thick plate there, and the difference here is this is actually a special bend. I'm not sure where he gets it from because the actual size is different. So if you just go and try and buy steam pipe, you'll either get it like 1.5 inch or 2 inch. I think this is actually 50mm internal ball.
Now, what's the difference with materials, steam pipe?
So steam pipe, obviously, you can see it's all nice and thick, and you can get it in stainless, but I chose to go with just cast iron so that it can be welded and then it'll be HPC coated.
Now, what's the difference in terms of going stainless versus steam or mould or cast in terms of cracking your manifolds?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you go stainless, I think you really got to know what you're doing with welding because if you don't purge it, it's probably going to crack. And I guess it's just whatever you want to do. I mean, stainless, some people like it because it colours, whereas I want to HPC coat it in the black so that it just all looks good.
Also the sound as well.
The sound is different as well. So with this one, because the turbo that I've got over here is actually, that's a G42 turbo. So if you have a look at it, it's all V-banded. So that's why all these, basically the turbo is just going to go on with the V-band. And this is going to be for the wastegate that'll come off the side. Really good product. Really happy with that. You can see the quality of that.
Now let's show people where you're going to mount that.
Yeah, so...
Can we spin the car around perhaps?
Yeah.
Is that...
You want to turn it on the side?
Yeah, let's do it, hey.
So...
Show people how the jigs work.
Yeah, so I actually made this myself as well. So it just locks in there. And then just lift it up. Find where the hole is.
Where the locking pin goes in.
Just hold, you're right there, Kirk? Yes. So, yeah, basically, this is going to go on this side, and it's just going to bolt in there like that, pretty much. So, as you're going along, this traps the air, and then it's on an angle, so the air hits, and then with the fan.
Now let's leave it there for a second. That's really interesting because I've got in the King R1 car.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's flat mounted.
Is it?
So
Yeah.
that's going the next level by putting the angle into it.
Putting the angle into it, so the air comes through here and actually hits it. Because if it's flat, then the air can sort of go past it. So this is designed to trap the air.
That's a really clever idea, isn't it, to go next level. Now, with saying that, I'm guessing you're going auto.
Yes. So it's going C4.
Yeah, we are in Australia.
Yeah, definitely. So C4, 9-inch. I was thinking a mini tubbing head, I'm not too sure. So.
Look, I actually, on this occasion, because it's a 616 and that, it's not a bad...
that's the reason. That's the reason I've decided that I could do it, you know. So, obviously my RX2 is all original with twin dizzy 12A.
So go for power and then maybe go down for passes, maybe roll racing or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, yeah.
Do you want to have a look at the C4?
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I'd love to.
So this is the C4 as it's just come in from the States. So this is trans-braked, like full billet internals, 26 blind, and I'm just waiting for. It's still got an SFI small block Ford because that's just what he sold it with. But I'm just waiting on one to come in the next couple of weeks.
The bell housing.
The bell housing, yeah.
Okay. So how come was it that you went, I guess, international or overseas for that?
It was just the price, really, for what they were able to build it, and because I can bring stuff in, I was able to sort of ship it and just get it here. So,
can we mention dollars? Do you want to mention dollars?
Look, this will owe me in the car probably about.
Holy shit! That's competitive.
That is competitive. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's got the proper pan on it. It's a built box.
And that's I think they're selling locally for around 10. I've seen them.
Yeah. So and then it's got the shifter, and it's also got what do you call it?
I've forgotten as well.
What are they called?
Oh no. For the life of me, I can't remember what they're called. The
torque converter.
The converter.
The converter.
Now, what converter is in it? Yeah.
I think it's a 9.5-inch converter at about 4,000 RPM.
Okay, so you need to match that to the...
Correct. Yeah. So I just got that in. I'm not too sure. If it needs to be adjusted, then I will. Yeah.
Okay, so TransBra. Let's talk about computers.
So yeah, definitely going M150 and dash, and I'm going paddle shift. So even though there's a shifter there, I'm definitely going to go for the paddle shift.
One of the
ones, yeah. So because I want to run that in my 55 as well. So yeah.
Now, are you going to install all the tech and everything as well?
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
So the only thing I really don't do in-house is probably going to be the final paint and the interior, and that'll be done by a mate of mine, Jeff Sleep.
That's so awesome. PDM, are you going to go PDM as well?
I'm not sure. That'll sort of come down to what my mate Simon, he's going to be building the motor for me, what he decides. So yeah, I'll leave that up to him. So
okay, let's do some more parts and see how they fit.
Sure.
So we're up to the turbo manifold.
Yep.
Okay, so, we've done the...
Yeah, so I'm pretty much going to make that up myself. Just sent me some photos of what he makes them look like. And then, because the thing with these, everyone fits them slightly different. So I'm actually going for, they've actually got my other banana cross member. And they actually modified, make it stronger, and then put it in place. So I'm waiting for that to come. Once that's in, then with the bell housing, I'll mount everything up. I've started fabricating the cross member for the C4 sitting over there, yes. And then it'll depend on how the turbo fits.
Let's grab the turbo and see what it looks like in there.
So I'll tell you, I made a jig So if you want to see how the turbo is going to fit in there, I'll just get the jig.
Now, what's your take while you're looking at the jig? What's your take on Vband versus going for like a 4-bolt?
Look, I just like the Vband because, I mean, it's just so easy to put it on, you know. And basically the whole exhaust will be stainless, V-banded. So, look, I just made a bit of a jig up here. And then just made up a mount that will go onto the oil feed for the turbo.
Yep.
And then that way you can bolt it in, line it up. So now, which way is this going to go?
So I reckon let's bolt it on. Let's show people how you're doing it.
Exactly. Just put that there. Yep. Just so. Pop that in there, pop it down. So yeah, just like that. And so then you can position it wherever you want it.
Now this is something I'm noticing. People are now mounting and through there.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to go down. I guess the other thing is when that pipe comes out and you've got to run it around to come back to the intercooler, it normally will come through just here. But the problem is that's where that front balance bolts. So you've either got to extend that, and that's why you'll see some of them have that lower front apron to get that pipe back through. So
how are you going to sit it there like that? You'll spin.
So that will spin, and then I will actually put a hole through here, and it'll go through. So some of the modifications I have done, normally where the battery goes here, you'll see that that's normally square. So you can see I've just sort of blended that a little bit. So it's just going to look a lot neater when it's done. Then obviously if you look through here, I will be cutting this out and putting that same lip on it. So through the headlight, you'll be able to see the front wheel.
Now, what are you doing in terms of filters for it?
Probably just filter and beanie. Yeah.
Now, how does that go with compliance and engineering as well? Do you have to have an enclosed box or?
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, we'll see when I get there.
We are in Queensland,
yeah,
so
exactly.
it might be right.
Yeah.
Now, what about the cooling and that setup? What's in?
Getting it a full, so that'll be their radiator, their fans, their intercooler, and then I'll just do the pipe work.
Are you going to Wiggins clamp it at all?
Definitely, yeah. And if you look here as well, I've strengthened this. So these are normally really thin. So
yeah, they're just bracket.
So if you look here, I cut it out and I've put a much thicker wall and welded that in, just to give that a little bit of strength.
Rigid, yeah. Make it more rigid, yeah. So you still can run that bar when you do the pulling setup.
Because
That's interesting.
It all sits just nicely in there. Other little things that I'm doing, you know, just tidying up, like a lot of from the factory, these were just sort of spot welded. So you can see I've just started stitching that, and then it will be cleaned up.
Now, something else I'm noticing that's interesting, and I know we've just put the car flat down again, but I'm noticing, and with the King car, that I've got all the chassis rails are being extended through the whole chassis. Have you done any of that?
No,
I didn't notice it yet.
No. So this, I mean, these, it pretty much just ends in front of the back wheels. So if I decide to tub it, I will definitely extend that and put like a rear frame in there.
Are you thinking about doing a ladder bar setup as well, or rose joints? Like
definitely, yeah.
I can see that's your flavour. That's why, yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Okay, so fuel setup. What are you going to do with that?
So that will all come down to what I decide with that spare wheel hub. So that's one of the reasons I want to take that out, so I can put a nice tank in the back.
I'm guessing E85 street methanol spray?
Possibly. Again, Simon.
That's an interesting thing with E85. I don't notice too many people running E85 setup with a methanol spray.
Okay.
They're either using nitrous to bring it up on the trans, but they're not running E85 and methanol spray. Yep. It's normally pump gas with the sprayer.
Yep.
Is that a fair sort of...
It is, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think the main thing is how you get them up on the converter, you know. You know, with the C4 and the 9-inch to get the thing to go.
And a big turbo. Even mine as well. You got to sit there for a bit,
exactly,
and then you'll give it a hit. Yeah.
So I've got manifolds and stuff for this. So it's going semi-PP. So I've got the semi-PP manifolds.
Billet plates?
Billet plates.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I was doing that almost like as a joke.
No, it's going
Like-
billet plates. Yeah, so it's going to be a nice thing.
This is going to be all out, hard out,
Yeah.
fucking... Holy shit, you're going to run numbers in it. You're building like an 8-second car.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it should be good.
That's mean. Okay.
Asian too, aren't you?
Yeah, so the thing is, I'd love to put a full cage in it, but I think the rules in Queensland, if it's full cage, you can't run like the front bars and stuff. But then if you run a number, you get kicked off the track with a half cage. So
This is going to run a sub 10.
yeah,
all
so this
day.
is where, do I, maybe do a couple of shakedown passes and then do one good pass and get kicked off? I don't know.
That's an interesting thing to put out there, and I'd like to hear people's comments on that.
Yeah.
What they would do
Yeah.
if they're looking at this and...
Yeah, definitely.
with-
I mean,
and
I'd
with
love
your-
to get some feedback, because
Yeah.
it's at this stage now, and I'm just enjoying it. I just love building the car. So.
That's what the Rotary Rescue concept is. It's not obviously to rescue you,
Yeah.
but it's to engage people.
Definitely.
And yeah, okay, so I see a drive-by pedal and a Bosch.
Yeah. So again, this is it's actually, I bought the Cosmo one because I've got the manifold. So, and then it's got them on there. And then, so I've put that together, and then it comes as well with the bolt-in pedal, which is actually really, really nice to buy the actual bracket. And it just goes in really simple.
Let's fit that in. Let's
Sure.
put that in the
Sure.
in the footwell.
Yep. So if you look here, you can see the two holes up there where the old accelerator cable
comes
come
through,
out,
yep.
and it pretty much just bolts in there. So we can fit that in, see how it goes.
Yeah, see what it's feeling in real time. Bit of a shout out to Rodney, George, and Rocky.
Rocky. Yeah.
Please, I need help, please. This is turning into a go around and show how all the Great Australian Workshop parts fit into cars. But this is what it's about, because all these kits that people are buying, we want to see how easy they are to fit. So that's really cool that they're using the throttle cable
Yeah.
hole to.
Yeah.
That plate looks really mint.
Man, it's really nice, eh?
It's only just in there, but yeah, that's all. Is it powder coated?
Yeah, it looks like it's.
It looks
got
like
that
it's got some sort of.
textured powder coat on there, so really nice.
They've even run the. Did you run the threads in the?
No, they've
done
all
that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's mean.
So I have also welded up where the clutch master cylinder would be, so just little details like that.
What are you going to do with brakes? Yeah.
So I'm just going to go for a package from, so that'll come with the coilovers and the Willwood brakes. I'm thinking of going the 6-piston fronts, so I've already got a quote off him for that, and then obviously I'll go the Woolwoods on the 9-inch on the back.
Okay. Yeah, disc as well.
Disc,
yeah, on the
yeah.
rear. Yep.
Yeah.
Now with those front, those calipers on the front, there's some speculation out there going, are they street usable or not? Because
Well-
they get hot.
Well, I think it's fully legal because he actually does, the 6-pot one comes with dust covers as well.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, so I think you've got to be careful of what kit you buy. You might get something that's a bit cheaper, but you've got to do your homework with what's legal.
What size discs as well are you going to use, do you know?
So I think they are 12 inch or something. They're quite big. So I will be running 17s on the front, and then obviously 15s on the back.
Also, what about booster setup? Are you going to run just a slave or?
Yeah, look, I'm toying up whether to run like a wood one.
With a booster or no booster?
Yeah, probably with a booster. I have got a Series 2 RX7 booster, but the holes are slightly different. So at this stage, I'm going to mock all that up. So maybe run a Series 2 RX7 booster with a master.
And you think keep it there, don't? Because I have seen them allocated in the rear.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think keep it here. It's not going to get in the way of anything. The turbo will come out here, it'll dump down and under there. It should be fine.
4-inch dump pipe as well?
4-inch dump, yep. And
Okay.
then it'll go into 3-inch all the way, mandrel bent out the back.
Now with the brake lines, are you thinking...
Everything will be hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything will be hidden.
Hard lined?
All hard lined, all stainless. I flare all that up myself. Got all the proper tools and stuff. So yeah, so it'll be all hidden and flared. Yeah.
Have a tunnel. Now I'm looking at the tunnel and I keep getting sidetracked because I just love asking questions.
So when I got this car, interesting story was somebody had actually cut this out because they actually had put a 16, I think like 1600 turbo engine in it, 4-cylinder. So yeah, they did a pretty hack job. So I've actually bought another tunnel and I've actually stitched that all in. So
where do you buy the tunnel? Like, is it from another car?
From another car, yeah.
Okay.
So I just got that from a wrecked car. And so, yeah, it's been quite a lot of work even just doing that, you know, but to put it back so that it looks all right. You know?
I could imagine.
Do a little bit of hammering and stuff up. But yeah, it's in there. Yeah, it took some time.
Now, another thing I've noticed as well with here, you've treated all the steel so it doesn't corrode.
Definitely.
What do you use? Just tell people.
I use dioxidine. But what I do is I dilute it 3:1, and then obviously with the sort of weather we've got in Queensland, I mean it wouldn't take much for it to rust. So it lasts probably about 6 weeks before it shows anything, and then I just go and give it another coat. But I always like to get it down to bare steel myself, especially these cars. They're actually quite thin, so I certainly don't want to send it to be sandblasted with multi-layers of paint on it. So I get it down to this, I can see what I'm doing, do all the hammering up, do all the welding, and then when it's probably 99% done, so if you can see I've already closed all the holes in the engine bay and stuff, and then it'll be blasted and epoxy.
Now, 2 questions for you on that. Can you weld directly with that I guess, material that you're putting on top of the steel?
Look,
or do you have to scuff it a little bit?
I always scuff it a little bit,
okay.
Just with a right angle die grinder, and I have no problems welding. But it's really good. Yeah, definitely recommend using dioxidine.
Now also with that as well, sandblasting versus bead blasting. What's your take on it?
Look, I trust a guy that's done my Chev. I'm not exactly sure what medium he uses, but I think you just got to have the right blaster. You know, really know what they're doing.
So it's more the art, because you can even use nuts.
You can. Yeah. I mean, soda blasting was really popular at one stage. I think it comes down to the person doing it and what they
how they're so it's a craft in itself.
Definitely,
then
definitely. I mean,
so give it to the wrong guy and you might get
I've seen some horror stories.
Just hold it there for 5 minutes and see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I keep getting you sidetracked.
No worries. So if you have a look up there, you can see the 2 holes up here. Obviously, yeah, really nice, straight out of the box. So you can see they do it from the factory, so it's already semi-PP.
And you haven't tried to fit this at all, hey Gary?
This one I haven't.
And then maybe you just grab like a shifter.
Yeah.
I know the Rotary ones from what I've seen are this colour, and this ones are black. So the alignment there, Gary at the top, I reckon you're going to have to do a bit of manipulating here.